Hey y'all, this is Ty with Barking Squirrel Homestead, and I got Miss Peyton and Miss Sarah. Say hi, girls.
Hi.
Alrighty. Hey, you want to tell them what we're doing today?
We're gonna be butchering the meat chickens.
Butchering the meat chickens. You excited about that, girls?
Finally.
Finally. They're tired of crawling into that cage and feeding them. That's why she says finally. I promise you, that's why. She's shaking her head. Yeah. They're tired of fighting these suckers. They get, what's that?
If you look at the back, the meat chickens will get out and I'll have to chase them.
Yeah, she's had to chase a couple of them. But they are probably really hungry because we took the feed off of them yesterday. Anytime you're going to butcher chickens or butcher any animal, you want to pull the feed the day before if possible. And so we've pulled the feed off of them. They haven't had anything since yesterday morning. We've just given them some water. And so they are going to be a little feisty, cantankerous with us, but they'll be okay. But anyways, you do that because while you're cleaning them, you don't want anything in their the crawl, that pouch in their throat, and you don't want anything in the intestinal tract. Sometimes it's going to happen. You're going to have poop to deal with. But anyways, all right. So because of YouTube rules, there's some of this I can't show you. But then there is quite a bit that I will show you. The biggest part is I can't show you the actual evisceration, the killing of them. But I will show you our setup here in just a minute. So let me turn this camera around for you. All right, so you can see I've got this is our deck here. I just put this piece of sheet metal up to kind of block our deck so things aren't spraying all over it. I've got two funnels there. These are killing funnels for birds specifically. And what we'll do is we'll turn them upside down and I'll show you that process, put them in there, and then I'll eviscerate them. I can't show you that, but I can show you the steps before and the steps following. Once they've bled out, and we're gonna put a bucket down underneath them to try to catch as much of that as possible, but we don't care if it goes out on the ground too much. We just spray it down with water. But once they're done kind of kicking in there, we'll bring them over here to the scalding pot. We're gonna dip them. This will be full of water at about 145 to 150 degrees. That's what we're going to, that reminds me, Sarah, I need my heat gun, the heat temperature gun. But you want this at about 145, 150 degrees, no more than that at all. Kind of dunk them up and down for about a minute or so. And then you kind of pull it out and test it, pull some feathers, check that. Then we've got a chicken plucker, and we set it up on this to kind of get it off the ground, mainly because the outlet for that is right there, and I didn't want that pouring out all over the ground and making a big muddy mess. So what we've done is we've laid a tarp out here. We've set this little garden trailer here up, and we've set it inside this. This will spin, and it will pluck the birds. We'll spray it down with water. So we got a hose over here for that. And then as it comes out that chute, it'll all come into this trailer. Water will drip out onto the tarp and flow out away from our work area. That's the plan there. Then they're going to go from that into an ice bath and into probably that cooler right there. They will sit in an ice bath for quite a while. We'll get all the birds butchered and get them into the ice bath and kind of working left to right so we know there's only 6 of them, so they'll fit in there just fine. But then later this afternoon, we'll come back out and we will shrink rat them. We'll disinfect everything, clean it all up, get fresh water in there, bring that temperature up to about 180. And then we will put the chickens into a bag that will then be able to go into the freezer. So I've got this little station here with my knives. I've got some scissors there in case I need them, just to kind of cut down on how much actual cutting I have to do with my knives. But this will be where I do the actual gutting and cleaning of the bird prior to us going into the actual ice bath. So that's the process. We are going to set this canopy up to kind of give us some shade. We're just going to kind of put it over the center section here, and that way we've got some shade to working, because it is hot and bright out here. So anyways, stay tuned, guys. All right, y'all, Peyton is bringing our first chicken over. You can see she's got a hold of the feet. You can see the bird is perfectly calm. I'm gonna get a hold. If you just put your finger in between there and hold onto their feet, that keeps them calm. With their head hanging down, they actually become very docile. So here's what I'm gonna do. Remember, if you'll take that. What we do in these cones is we wanna just gently put them down inside that cone like that. Bring their feathers in. Give me your head.
Need me to get my hand in there?
No, I just need your head to come down. Cones are a little bit small. We let them get pretty big. These are monsters. All right. Don't get your fingers over my camera. Give me the black one. All right.
Bucket.
So here's what you want to do. Right here. Just like us, here, up here. Just like us, our carotid arteries run right down there beside our esophagus, okay? And then it goes up back behind our ear like this. So what we want to do, their ear is basically right here. So you see this red flap here. You want to come right there and you can kind of feel it.
Is it dead already?
And you just want to cut as close to that crop, there you go. That's called exsanguination.
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 We're
not going to catch it.
That bucket up there.
But listen, that bird is dead. All right, it was dead the moment I cut that artery. All right, what you're seeing happen is just the leftover nerves in the chicken. Okay, you get the phrase running around like a chicken with its head cut off. This is where it comes from. Okay.
Doc, stop. Cut it out. Go lay down.
Where's your head?
I can go for it.
There you go. Oh, you got pants. There we go. All right. Okay, so once they've stopped kind of convulsing like that, and like I said, that's just the leftover nerves in the body that's going off. They're dead the moment I slit their throat like that. So this water is about 145, 150 degrees. We're gonna drop this bird down in there. It's gonna boil over a little bit, so we wanna just kind of dip it. Now we're going to drop it off in here. Put it
down.
So we've got these rolling in here. You want to do 2 birds at a time. That way they help take each other's feathers off, but at the same time, you also want to get cold water on them. That's what the hose is blowing on them. That's going to help take them off, but you want the cold water, kind of like blanching green beans or anything like that. If you're blanching, you put it hot and then you put it in ice or in cold water, and that helps release it. So the cold water is helping release the fat that's holding on to the wheels for the feathers. So that's what we're doing now. So got a few fin feathers here. Those come out pretty easy. Probably could have left it in the hot water a little bit longer, but that's not a problem. What you can do is take the back of the knife and make pen knives for this. You just take the knife and just kind of pinch. And so I actually cut that piece off, so I'm not going to worry about it. We'll pull these little pin feathers out. And I'm going to go ahead and get to butchering, and then so we can get this on ice, but then before we package it up, we'll pull the rest of those pin feathers out. So here's what we're going to do. So a lot of people, if I was packaging these to sell, you want as many ounces as possible. So you leave the neck on, you leave extra fat on, extra skin on, that kind of stuff. Since we're doing these for personal use and maybe a couple of friends, we're not going to do any of that. Also, a lot of people will eat the feet. That is a very popular piece. People will save the heart, the gizzards, the liver. We don't eat any of that. It's just going to go in our compost pile. We're going to throw it in this bloody bucket, and it's going to get buried in our garden area. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up here to the neck. I'm going to start there, and this area right here in this valley, I'm going to take this knife and I'm just going to put a little slit right there. And if you look, there's a fatty piece there, but on the front you'll see this sack right here. That sack is the craw, okay? That is where the food goes in, and it kind of gets digested before it goes into their gizzard area. So they'll hold grit in there. That helps them grind it up. It's very slick, okay? Slicker than snot. So what I do is I just take my thumb back behind it and I pull against it, okay? That's all right. And you just want to separate that sack right there. Get that off there. Then you can kind of see that's its esophagus going down to the lungs, and then there's the so it's windpipe and it's esophagus as well. So we've got all that. I just cut all this off. So what I do is I'm just going to cut this skin all the way around here, go up underneath the neck, cut that loose. So all that fat's loose from it, all that kind of stuff. And then I get in here and I want to kind of separate the windpipe and the esophagus and everything. I want to get a hold of that and separate that from the neck. Just like that, okay? Then I can cut the neck off. So I'm gonna find like in between vertebrae here, get up close to the body. The neck is good if you're doing like stocks, soups, that kind of thing. There's not really enough meat on it to make it worth eating. But you want to get in there, separate it like that, and then that goes down there. Then that leaves this free so that you're not getting any poop or anything. There's a little bit of poop in this, but not much. But that leaves that free. You're not dragging any of that. The goal is to not have any of the feces on the bird. If you get a little bit, it's not that big deal. Wash it off, right? So you want the valleys. So just like skinning anything else, you want to find like the valleys. So like here, there's a knuckle joint right there and a little valley right there. I'm just going to put a slit in that valley. I'm just going to walk it around there, and that's going to go. You don't want to be cutting bone, okay? If you're cutting bone, you're doing it wrong. But you just want to go right in between those knuckles, okay? Find that valley, cut that tendon, and just go right in between the knuckles like that, okay? That takes that off there. Now, I'm going to come back here on this spot. I'm going to put a hole. I don't want a big hole. Just put a little slit in there, kind of pull it apart. You can kind of see all that fat. You want to come in here, wrap your hand around it, pull that loose, put your hand in there, and grab all the guts and pull them all out together as best as you can, okay? Like that. Now I'm going to reach in here. See, we pulled that esophagus and that windpipe and everything. I'm going to come in here. Looks like I got the heart now. I'm just looking for the lungs. I want to get the lungs out of it. They make a little lung tool, but you don't have to have it. You can get in there with your fingers and get it, but you want to get all the organs out. Kidneys out, or the liver out, the gizzard out, its heart out, all that stuff. So there's windpipe. And then you can grab all this, cut around It's poop chute right there. Take that out, and then like I said, I cut this off. I don't keep it. So, well, that's out of there. Now we're just going to take the hose. Give me the water pressure back on this.
Okay.
You cut my water pressure off.
Flip the lid. There, flip the thing. Quickly. Okay, you're good.
All right, so you want to clean that poop off there. I think it's the third one I've done so far, and the first one I've really had poop come out onto the table. So we're doing pretty good. What you're seeing fall out of there is just clotted blood. Chickens don't have a lot of blood.
Those are ugly or something here.
Yeah. You just want to spray it, clean it out, get all that.
Yes.
Yes, I would. But you do that until it's running clear when it comes out, and then it's ready to go in the ice bath. I'm going to lift that up. We're just going to drop this down the ice bath like that. Alrighty guys, well, I know the video has been a little bit choppy, but we're on to the second half of this process. Hopefully you were able to kind of get an idea of the process of the butchery and what's involved with processing homegrown poultry. And I'm also available if you guys want to put comments down below in the video, ask for help or send us an email at barkingsquirrelhomestead@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer your questions the best I can, or point you in the right direction if I don't know the answer. I can also let you know kind of some of the equipment we're using, where I got it, that type of stuff. We didn't bother videoing the cleanup. I guess we could have done that, but memory is still kind of cleaning up. She's picking all the feathers out of the chicken plucker. That's the base of it, and there's the barrel bed down there. What we'll do is we'll take everything that's collected from that, everything that's in the bloody gut bucket, and put that all into our garden area. We'll mix it in with our garden soil and turn that over as we're prepping it to plant our watermelons and pumpkins for later this year. And so we're actually doing that. Hopefully in this next week we'll get those planted. So we're going to drop all this in there, mix in some bags of compost with the regular topsoil that we had delivered, and go that route. So on to the second half of this. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see what we're doing next. So on to the second half of this, we're going to fill this back up. We're going to fill this back up. And then we want to bring that to about 180 degrees. That's where it needs to be at. And then we've got these shrink bags. These bags come with labels. And again, if you want to know where to get these are made in the USA. We can actually let you know where we ordered these. They come with zip ties. They come with labels. And they are As you can see, there's 25 in here. They are BPA, BPS free, and freezer safe. These will shrink wrap. So what we'll do is, once we get the water up to temperature over there, we'll take the birds. We're only going to shrink wrap 5 of them. One of them kind of got beat up pretty bad, and so we're not going to shrink wrap it. We're probably going to cook it tonight for dinner or tomorrow. But make fried chicken with it is probably what we'll do. Anyways, we are going to shrink wrap 5 of these. So we're going to show you that process of how we do that today. And then I'll probably actually, you know what? We may fry some chicken up and let that be the end of the video for you guys. But for now, we're just going to fill this up. All right, y'all. We are ready to go on this. The water is, I'm going to hit the thermometer on it one more time just to check it. We are sitting right at 188, 190, and that's optimal. I had said I think 180 earlier, but the instructions for these bags that I got actually said between 190 and 205. You want to dip them no more than about 3 to 5 seconds, no more than 5 at all, but really 3 seconds is about all it takes to shrink wrap these chickens. So I want to hand the camera to Sarah and let her start filming as I get these out and show you what we do. So you want to make sure you get all the liquid out of them you can. You don't want any excess liquid. So I'm just kind of shaking it. I'm going to take this towel and just pat it dry. It doesn't have to be super dry, you just don't want a lot of excess liquid. So just kind of pat it dry a little bit. This is a good chance for you to make sure there's no leftover organs or stuff like that. Hi, Miss Peyton, you gonna help? Mm-hmm. Okay, here, that's perfect. Take that. All right, now a lot of people will tell you to let your birds rest on ice for about 24 to 48 hours and keep them on ice. And that may be, you know, a really good practice, but my experience and a lot of people will tell you, you don't have to do that. You can literally, like they've been out here maybe 2 hours on ice. This bird's nice and cold and perfect for ready to bag up. See, I've got a little bit of that. Just want to get rid of that. Throw that over there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these bags and Peyton, I'm going to need you to actually help me.
Why I got that glass? Tap the chicken in?
Nope. I want you to hold that open. Don't let it tear. And what you want to do is you want to put head first into the bag, okay? So we're just going to kind of fold it up. And drain the liquid off, open it up. Just like that. Then what we're going to do, we're going to draw this up right around these legs, pull this top together. Get as much air out of that as you can. Close it together, get as much air out as you can. We're going to twist it right there at the top. And then we're going to put a zip tie right there at the base. Here, hold that top. I'll get this. Hold this. Get a zip tie. Close that off.
Bubbling up.
Yep, that's fine. We'll turn it down. So I'm gonna let that cool just a little bit. Let me check the temperature. Come over here. I want to make sure we're not. Okay, I'm hitting 205 right there, so that's perfectly fine. Now, here's one last step that I almost forgot. I almost had an oops. So if you see this bird sitting in here, right, that's very similar to what you're going to see packaged in the store. You want to come to the breast side of it. Right here is the breast side, right? And you want to put a slit. So turn it over to where your breasts are, right here, and you can see the breastplate, that ridge runs down the middle. You want to put a slit about 1/4 inch thick right there into that paper. That's all you do. And that is to let the air bubbles out while it's in the water, okay? So, we're gonna go in. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna give it another quick dip. On that side. There we go. No more than that. We're gonna dry it off with this towel. And then
one of the stickers in where you put the hole.
if I can get them to open up.
Here,
There we go.
give it one of these.
Take these stickers right here and we're gonna put it right over top of that hole. Just like that. And then we'll be able to weigh it later and write that information on there. But that is a fully packaged bird ready for the freezer. So Sarah's gonna put that on time lapse and then you're gonna watch us do the rest of these birds. All right, so you can see we've got our 5 birds there, all really good sized birds. We haven't weighed them yet, but I'd say the smallest in there is probably 6 pounds. There's at least one that's every bit of 8 pounds. They are massive fryer birds. We've got one more bird here. This is the one that kind of got, I'll show you. It was our first bird that we did, and I left it in the hot water too long, so it started to cook the breast meat. You can see that. That's one of the dangers. So I'm showing you this so you know what not to do. You can see the skin also. The skin cooked off and came off of it. There's one wing that completely came off of it. This other wing shredded. So we're gonna cook this. We'll cut it up. We'll make fried chicken out of it. But I'm not gonna shrink wrap that and waste a bag and a tag on it. So we're just gonna put this in a bowl and put it in our refrigerator overnight. So I'm gonna clean it up and do that. But we will, I think like I said earlier, we're probably gonna fry this up, so you guys will probably see a video of that. All right, y'all, so real quick, we are going to see what one of these birds weighs. 7.8 or yeah, 7 pounds, 8.8 ounces. That is a big chicken. All right, y'all, I told you you'd get a glimpse of us frying chicken. So this is that chicken that I showed you that had gotten kind of beat up. It doesn't look too bad, and I've got it chunked up. We've got some pieces of the breast cut up like that. Look at that drumstick. That's one drumstick. Look at that huge thing. Here's one of the wings on it. Like I said, I've cut the breasts up. Those breasts were massive. Got the tenderloins off of both of the breasts. There's one of the, that's just the thigh. Holy crap. Sucker's huge. There's the other drumstick. My goodness. There's the wing. Look at that. Piece of the breast. Another piece of the breast. Like, it is massive. That's the tenderloin. That's the stinking tenderloin. Look at that thing. How'd you like to get that for a chicken strip, huh? That is good. So here's what we're gonna do. This is my batter, and this is a champagne mustard mixed with some heavy cream and 2 eggs. That is all that's in here. That's all that's in here. This is cornmeal and flour. It's got some rosemary and some other seasonings, of course, salt and pepper. But anyways, that is my dredge. So we've got a wet bath and then that. So I'm gonna take this and we're gonna put this off into there, and we're just gonna lay all these pieces out into here, and then that way I only have one hand to get dirty. All right, so here's that stock pot we got going. It's just got some chicken broth and some water, and then the whole carcass off that chicken put down in there, and then just some seasonings, rosemary and things like that. So we got some oil going here, and the oil I'm using, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's what I got. Let's see, we got canola oil. So that's all I got on hand, so that's what we're using. Mom always used Crisco, I think. I just ain't got none on hand. So we want this screaming hot. You can hear it popping and crackling. So I think I'm gonna go in with my drumsticks first. They're gonna take the longest, I think. Oh, that didn't really go off, did it? Oh, kinda. Hear that sizzling? Ooh, doggies, I hear that going. Get me a back down in there. Oh, yeah. You know what this is called? This is called the cook's treat. I'm gonna take this little morsel and I'm gonna slip that down in there and let that cook. That gives me something to snack on while I cook the rest of this up. That's what that's for. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fry this up. I'll let you see the finished product, all right? All right, y'all. So we've got the last few pieces in here. I'm about to pull them out. We're gonna put them in the pan with the rest, and then we're gonna drop it down in the oven. I just cooked it for about 4 minutes per side. And then we're gonna put it in that pan, drop that down in the oven, let that go for about 15 minutes on air fry. This oven allows us to do an air fry. So we're really just kind of finishing off. I just want to make sure down around the bones that the blood's done. The breasts, I'm pretty sure, good, but they'll stay moist, they'll be fine. So we're gonna drop that down in there and let that go, and we're gonna eat lunch. That said, we're gonna sign off. It's me and Sarah. Hi, Sarah. She's just doing some dishes. We're gonna make up some probably mac and cheese or whatever to go with this, and we're gonna have lunch. It's Sunday afternoon. We had church this morning, and now we're frying this up, enjoying the labors of raising chickens. How'd you think it went? You like it? She didn't like crawling in that cage. She's not letting me get that one. But anyways, so thank you guys for watching.
You're making a hole big enough for you to get in.
Oh, I gotta make a hole big enough for me to get in. I'm not making another cage. We'll just keep using the one we got.
Well, then you're making a bigger cage.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Smash that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified whenever we got new content. Make sure you like these videos and share them. And then, as always, I love you. God loves you. If you ain't in the Word, get in it and stay in it. Have a blessed day.